While it slept, it was replaying your face. Not as a metaphor, as a documented neural event. By the end of this episode, you will understand exactly what the mechanism is, and why what it chooses to replay is a more uncomfortable answer than the question itself. In 2001, researchers at Northwestern University implanted electrodes into the auditory forebrain of songbirds and recorded their neural activity continuously. During waking hours, during practice, and across the full arc of sleep. What they found in the REM phase was not random. The firing patterns were sequences, the same sequences the birds had produced during the day, compressed and replayed. The brain was going back, reviewing, selecting what mattered. Corvids carry the same architecture, a hippocampal analog. Episodic memory that encodes not just what happened, but where and when. The experiment told us when it happens. It did not tell us what they choose to replay. If you have ever watched a crow go still, not alert, not startled, still in the way that attention looks when it has already decided you are worth the storage, leave it in the comments. We are mapping this. Here is what the night actually looks like inside a bird's brain. In 2000, a team at the University of Chicago recorded activity in a structure called the robust nucleus of the archipalium, RA, during the sleep of starlings. During waking hours, RA drives the motor output of song. At night, it should go quiet. It did not go quiet. The RA fired at night in sequences that matched the diurnal pattern with statistical precision. The bird was not singing, but the neural motor program was running, compressed, accelerated, entirely internal. This is replay, measurable in microvolts per millisecond. The crow outside your window right now has a structure in its brain analogous to your hippocampus. Birds and mammals arrived at the same neural solution independently, across 300 million years of separation. The tools are different. The function is the same. What songbird sleep research established for motor memory maps directly on to Corvid episodic memory. If a crow encodes a specific episode during the day, a face, a location, an outcome, and if that encoding follows the same consolidation pathway, then the question of what the crow is replaying at night is not philosophical. It is anatomical. We know the replay happens. The next question is, what does a crow consider worth replaying? The answer is in the data, and it is not what you would expect. In 2012, a study examined episodic memory in corvids, requiring the birds to recall what they had cached, where and how long ago. The what, where, when triad, the defining structure of human episodic memory, the Corvid's past. But the study revealed something that the protocol was not designed to measure. The birds showed differential consolidation. The variable that predicted retention was not recency. It was emotional weight, measured through behavior. Episodes involving social conflict, competitive loss, or unexpected gain were recalled with greater precision than neutral episodes of equivalent age. The brain does not archive events randomly. It archives what mattered. Think about the last time a crow watched you. Not glanced, watched, tracked your direction, stayed elevated, did not move. That observation was being encoded with the same neural precision the 2012 study measured. Question is, what weight the crow assigned to it, and whether that weight survived the night. In 2020, a team at the University of Tübingen published evidence of neural correlates of conscious awareness in crows. During a sensory task, neurons fired in patterns that, in mammals, are associated with conscious, not merely reactive, perception. They were aware that they were seeing something. The experiment that would confirm Corvid REM replay has not been run. That absence is not evidence of absence. It is a gap in the record. Here is what we actually know, not what we suspect, what the data says. An animal with documented episodic memory. An animal with documented neural correlates of conscious awareness. A brain architecture that, by independent evolutionary logic, arrived at the same solution mammals arrived at. What has not been measured is the electrode reading from a sleeping corvid's hippocampal analog. Running that experiment without contaminating the result requires a methodology that does not yet exist at sufficient resolution. The 2020 Tübingen study noted that firing patterns associated with conscious awareness in crows were similar in structure to patterns that, in mammals, persist into sleep. The authors described it as a possible homologue of mammalian cortical activity. Possible. In scientific literature, that word does a great deal of work. So here is the answer the open literature gives us, assembled from what has been measured. A crow that watched you today encoded that episode with emotional weighting. If you registered as a threat, a competitor, or an anomaly, the architecture predicts your face survives the night. The experiment that would confirm the exact replay has not been run, but everything surrounding it has been. We have spent 2 decades establishing that crow's plan for the future, that they cache food for tomorrow, anticipate contingencies, deceive competitors using a model of what those competitors believe. we have spent less time asking what they carry from the past. Memory that consolidates selectively, that prioritizes the face that registered as a threat. The location that was taken is not passive storage. It is preparation. The past is not archived. It is maintained as a tool. There is a word for an animal that consolidates its social past each night, selects what matters, and wakes prepared. Science has not agreed on what that word is. The question this episode installs is not about dreams. It is about selection. What the sleeping brain chooses to rehearse says something about what the waking brain considers worth keeping. The next time you see a crow go still, not alert, not startled, in the way that attention looks when it has already decided you are worth the storage. Consider that tonight, in the dark, something might be going over it again. If you live near crows, watch the one that watches you longest. Notice if it comes back in the morning. If it does, count how many mornings in a row. Science built a test to measure whether an animal can recognize itself. The test is elegant, precise, peer-reviewed. The test might be wrong.